Narad Bhakti Sutra, a framework. Now, this is as interpreted by Swami Ramarajam, and this framework is conceived and developed at IIT Kanpur. The Narad Bhakti Sutra is a collection of 84 aphorisms or sutras dealing mainly with bhakti, the love for God. The aphorisms have been authored by sage Narad, who is one of the 10 sons of Brahma. He is a great devotee, mostly absorbed in singing glories of God. A versatile genius has access to all places during all periods of time and whose mission in life is to propagate bhakti. These aphorisms were originally narrated by sage in one of his births to Sri Veda Vyasa, the author of several scriptures including Puranas. These aphorisms are non-sectarian in nature and have been acclaimed as a complete guide to those who want to tread the path of bhakti. A logical sequence underlying the aphorisms of the scripture is as follows. The first sutra hints at the prerequisites of bhakti, athato. From 2nd sutra to 24th sutra deal with the characteristic and the objective aspects of parabhakti. Sutra 25 to 33 extol parabhakti as superior to all spiritual disciplines. Sutra 34 to Sutra 50 deal with the discipline and rules of Gauni Bhakti. Sutra 51 to 57 point out the distinctions between Gauni and Mukhya Bhakti. Sutra 58 to 66 describe the importance of the and accessories and obstacles to the bhakti in general. Sutra 67 to 80 impart instructions to and glorify bhaktas in general. Sutra 81 to 84 stress the greatness of bhakti by way of conclusion. This is the entire framework. So here it is divided into 4 branches, that is devotion, devotee, aparabhakti and parabhakti. And then they are all individually expounded, that is devotee, devotion, parabhakti and aparabhakti. Let us now see them in detail one by one. So Narad Bhakti Sutra deals with devotion or bhakti, which is undivided and unselfish love of God marked by his constant remembrance. This is way to God. The journey on this way begins with the lover's intimate relationship with God, the intimacy being ever on the increase. Bhakti culminates in the lover's complete inner absorption in God and his lovers being completely possessed by him. So there are 3 aspects to devotion: devotee, aparabhakti and parabhakti. So who is devotee? Devotee is the lover of God who treads the path of bhakti. What is aparabhakti? It is the initial stage of bhakti. And what is parabhakti? It is a mature stage of bhakti. Now let us see one by one. So what is devotion? Devotion or bhakti? It is as per Sutra 1, athato. That means it hints at the prerequisites of bhakti. In the Sutra 61st, this is what is it? Devotion. What are the obstacles to devotion? Anxiety about worldly concerns are obstacles to devotion. Listening to the stories of women, atheists, enemies or wealth, these are obstacles to the bhakti. Neglecting to observe social customs and ceremonies are obstacles to bhakti. Egoism, hypocrisy, etc. are obstacles to bhakti. Then Sanat Kumar, Bali, Hanuman, Shuka, Vedavyasa, Garga, Shesha, Uddhava, Kaundinya, Aruni, Vishnu, Shandilli, Vidhishana, these are the teachers of bhakti and they declare unanimously that bhakti is the greatest. Now what are the 11 forms for as the love of God? So there are these 11 which leads to bhakti, worship or puja shakti. Glorification of God, blessed qualities or guna mahatmya shakti. Next is God's enchanting beauty or rupa shakti. So these all qualities will manifest itself into 11 forms for love of God, that is bhakti will manifest into complete absorption of God or tanmaya shakti. Bhakti will manifest into constant remembrance, that is smarana shakti. Bhakti will manifest into the pain of separation from God or parama viraha shakti. Bhakti will manifest as God is that of a wife or for her husband or kanta shakti. It will manifest as self-surrender to God, that is atma nivedana shakti. Bhakti will manifest to God as a child or vatsalya shakti. It will manifest God as a friend or sakhya shakti, sakhi or sakha. And then service to God, or it will manifest into the dasya shakti or service to God. Now bhakti alone is the greatest. This is as per 81st Sutra. Bhakti is the proof of itself. That means it is the means and the goal, both in 59th Sutra. Bhakti is of the nature of peace and supreme bliss. It is as per 60th Sutra. Bhakti is easier than other ways of approach to God. So this covers the devotion. Devotees. Devotee, what is devotee? The gods dance for joy, the earth gets saviors, as per 70, on the advent of bhakti. Devotees are imparted instructions such as worship always God alone, wholeheartedly, with a mind free from all cares and anxieties, as per 79th Sutra. Devotees are imparted instructions such as to cultivate non-violence, truth, purity, compassion, faith in the Vedas and faith in the existence of God. Devotees are imparted instructions such as don't waste even half a second, spend every moment in meditating on the God. 77th Sutra. Devotees are imparted instructions such as meditate on the teachings of the scriptures and perform such actions with roused devotion. 76th Sutra. Devotees are imparted instructions such as do not enter into controversy about God or spiritual truth. 74th Sutra. Devotees recognize no distinction based on caste, learning, beauty, wealth, family, profession, etc. 72nd Sutra. Devotees give spiritual authority to scriptures. Devotees render actions righteous and good. Devotees impart sanctity to places of pilgrimage. So this is given in a 69th Sutra. Devotees are merged in God. 70th Sutra. Devotees are blessed with the realization of God. 80th. Devotees purify their families as well as the earth. 68th Sutra. So this is all about devotees. Now we'll see two things, that is Parabhakti and Aparabhakti. So first let us see what is Parabhakti. Parabhakti is the nature of supreme love of God. Second Sutra. Parabhakti is of the nature of nectar of immortality or bliss. Third Sutra. Parabhakti is the mature stage of bhakti. Parabhakti is not the nature of lust. Parabhakti is a stage of God realization. Parabhakti is its own fruit as it is both the end and the means. 30th Sutra. Parabhakti is consecration of all activities and observances to complete self-surrender of God. Parabhakti has two aspects. Objective aspect, the expression of the God realization of a Parabhakti through his words thoughts and deeds, such as his inclination to protect the scriptural teachings, such as his absolute satisfaction, trupta, such as his perfection, siddha, such as his absence of the feelings of grief and hatred, non-indulgence in sensual pleasures, no urge for acquisition of material things, and desirelessness. These are given in the 5th sutra. So, in Parabhakti, it has two aspects, object aspect and transcendental aspects. So, transcendental aspect is ineffable and equated with God realization. Parabhakti is higher than karma, jnana and yoga as per 25th and 26th sutra. Also, Parabhakti is the result of fruit of karma, jnana and yoga. Parabhakti disapproves egoism due to God's aversion to egoism and love for humility. 27th Sutra. Parabhakti is of the form of renunciation. 7th Sutra. And Parabhakti is the form of renunciation is resignation to God of all worldly and scriptural activities. Parabhakti is of the form of renunciation also means single-minded devotion to God or ananyata. Parabhakti is of the renunciation also means indifference towards everything which is opposite to the God and devotion, udasinta. And that is giving up all supports. Also, performance of such worldly and scriptural activities which are congenial to God. So, this covers Parabhakti. Aparabhakti is the stage of bhakti is the initial. It is divided into Gauni Bhakti and Mukhya Bhakti. Gauni Bhakti is Gauna or Vaidha Bhakti. It is of three kinds according to the distinction of aspirants, and the three gunas, Sattva, Raja and Tamas. So, as per the distinction of the aspirants who are self-interested, the seeker after the knowledge, Jigyasu, and the afflicted, Artha. The Gauna Bhakti is a stage of spiritual discipline and duties such as abandoning the sensual pleasures, abandoning all attachments in sensual objects, Sangha Tyaga, Vishaya Tyaga. It is the stage of spiritual discipline and duties such as listening to and singing the attributes and glories of God even while engaged in ordinary activities of life. It is the Gauni Bhakti is the stage of spiritual discipline and duties such as crossing Maya through avoiding all contacts with such objects which inflame passion, resorting to great spiritual souls and serving them, getting rid of the idea of possession. So, getting Gauni Bhakti is a state of spiritual discipline and duties such as crossing through, rooting out worldly desires and bonds, transcending the three gunas, giving up all idea of acquisition and preservation, and resorting to the solitary and pure places. Also, through renouncing the fruits of action, going beyond the pairs of opposites such as pleasures and play, good and bad, renouncing all selfish actions. Also, Gauni Bhakti is a stage of spiritual discipline and crossing of Maya through obtaining unintermittent flow of love towards God, abandoning even the rites and ceremonies prescribed by the Vedas. Gauni Bhakti is a stage of spiritual discipline and duties such as uninterrupted remembrance of God, Magana, being with the wise, and shunning the evil company as per 43. Now this another, that is Mukhya Bhakti from Apara Bhakti, Gauna and Mukhya. So we'll see now the Mukhya Bhakti is also called Raga or Raganuga or Ekanta Bhakti. Mukhya Bhakti defines precise definition. Mukhya Bhakti manifests in qualified person only who are very rare. Mukhya Bhakti, having been obtained, Bhakta sees only God, hears and speaks only about Him and thinks only of Him. Mukhya Bhakti is devoid of all desires, continuous, subtle, expanding every moment of the nature of inner experience. Mukhya Bhakti is a stage which supervenes upon the fulfillment of the duties of Gauna Bhakti. Mukhya Bhakti is the second and the last stage of Apara Bhakti and culminated in Para Bhakti. Apara Bhakti is attained by the grace of great men. Apara Bhakti is attained through the slight measure of divine grace. Apara Bhakti is a stage which prepares the aspirant to enter the mature stage of Bhakti, that is Para Bhakti. Apara Bhakti is a stage prior to that of God realization. So here we conclude the entire framework of Bhakti, Narada Bhakti Sutra, given in the 84 aphorisms. So what we have seen here is the Narada Sutra Bhakti, Narada Bhakti Sutra, devotion. What is devotion? That we saw here. Then we saw devotee, what is about the devotee we saw here. And then two main types, Apara Bhakti and Para Bhakti. Apara Bhakti we have seen here and Para Bhakti. And this way the entire framework we covered about given in the 84 sutras of Narada Bhakti Sutra. In the next narration, we can see the sutra-wise translation and short commentary. Thank you for listening.